this before. We never quite thought we could lose it all. Ready, aim, fire.
And welcome everybody to the channel. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money taking. The man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying Christmas villain in YouTube entertainment today, General Zod. And welcome. I had a Christmas stream early in the morning, just kind of giving my thoughts, talking about different things, different subjects. But, you know, I wanted to do something tonight, maybe get some other people involved. We may have some other bridge crew come through. Who knows? Who knows? I might even be able to scare up a lonely man. I don't know. We'll see, because I saw him release
with that. He was so busy today, he must have watched Wonder Woman twice.
Oh, God. You know, I guess we should kind of glaze on that. I don't know if you saw it.
We started watching it, but then I didn't have enough time with some stuff that I had to do before we started the stream, so I saw the first 14 minutes.
I could tell you, without giving anything away or spoiling anything, I think my review on Twitter was the best I can give it. The actors and actresses were fine, but the story betrays the acting.
The story betrays the acting. The story doesn't live up to the wonderful Jewish acting. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, it's a real shame, because I get a sense that like Corona might have actually affected it a lot more than we're privy to. It almost feels like there should be it should be more grander, like they wanted to make it grander, and just, you know, production halted. They wanted to get it out there, and, you know, just it feels like a 2-hour what do they call it? Not a director's cut, but, you know, when they're doing the cut they review and they go, okay, added this in, subtract this, kind of a deal. It felt like incomplete. That's the best way I could put it. Is it felt incomplete, but all in all, I'm gonna say, yeah. I wasn't pleased. I think the general feeling is disappointment. But look, you know, it was already going to be tough, because you build up all of this hype, but then on top of that, the things happened that happened. So, you know, I'd really be interested to see if this is the actual product, or if, you know, there's somewhere a Snyder cut.
Oh, God. Is that going to happen with every DC movie now? They'll be like, oh, well, it was good, but can we get the Snyder Cut version? Because I feel like if we can just see the 3-hour or 3.5-hour or 4-hour or the mini series, it'll just make everything make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. And what's up, Lemon Pie? Good to see you here. But yeah, you know, it felt like one of those things that we're missing. But I will tell you guys something. If you're gonna go see a movie this holiday, okay, this is a pro tip from Zod. If you're gonna go see a thought-provoking, fucking crazy ass movie that'll make you think about life and your choices as a man, go see that movie, Promising Young Woman. Oh my God, what a fucking tremendous movie. I went into it looking at the previews going, oh my God, is this going to be one of those SJW, all guys are douchebags, and I'm just going to wind up hating myself? And then earlier today, I read a review about an asshole critic, and they said something, and I go, the critics are sticking their foot in their mouth? this might actually be a good movie. And nothing prepared me for this movie because I'm just going to dub it right now my favorite movie of 2020. I didn't think that there were still good writers, let alone a female writer, that can get me to cheer for a female character at the end of the movie. But my God, hats off to the actress, hats off to the writer. She did a phenomenal job in making a likable female character who wasn't this over the top, obnoxious character, but had something really fucking horrendous happen to them. And the revenge taking is Jesus Christ. Go see the movie. Go see it immediately. Go see it over Wonder Woman. You'll enjoy it a lot more.
Interesting. I feel like I'm going to have to learn for myself because I can't not watch Wonder Woman. I saw the first one, and I know, unlike what a bunch of Snyder cultists would have you believe, that this movie goes with the DCEU and not the Snyderverse. So I got to see what happens.
Yeah. But it's gonna be an interesting night. I'm gonna talk some Amber Heard because love talking about her. Actually, some important messaging from her and the director of The Stand, because the two fucking people during the apocalypse that I need telling me about sticking together. So we're going to. Oh my God, PB! When I read this, I said to myself, how is this bitch getting every role? Like, seriously, does she have a magical snatch? I can't figure out what the charm is of this evil, maniacal.
And you never will.
I mean, the amount, and so I'm in the theater and I'm looking at the previews, and there's a new Liam Neeson movie coming out, and you know how I feel about Liam Neeson. I don't care if he's fighting a tornado. I'm going to see that movie. But then who do I see as the agent pursuing him? Amber fucking Heard is the DEA agent pursuing him. And I go, why, Liam? You're better than this. All you need to do is stare at the camera angrily, and I will throw you money. I don't even know what the movie is about. You could tell me Liam Neeson is hunting a badger, and that the badger fucked with his family, and I will go and see it because it's Liam Neeson. But yeah, so I seen the preview, and I gotta admit though, there's a lot of good movies that I saw where I'm like, Corona just fucked all you guys over. Good luck with your box office. Because
yep.
Yeah, and it's a shame too, because I could tell this was going to be, you can always tell when you're going to go see a good movie, because every preview me and the girl watched, we were like, oh, we got to go see that. Love you, dear. She's going, the girl. We just watched Promising Young Woman, and, I felt like a douchebag coming out of this film. So she's all empowered right now. I just got to warn you, if you hear in the background going, oh no, you didn't. Let me tell you, it's 2020, bitch. Like, only for a couple more days.
Good old 2020.
But no, seriously, if you guys watch this video, we're 9 minutes in, so I know you'll watch up to this point. Go see that movie. It's worth your money. It seriously has a interesting message, to say the least, and you'll make better life choices. Like, man, I should have known when I saw.
What if I don't want to make better life choices?
I love lemon pie. He says time's up. Okay, so let's go down to the first subject, because I got some good articles to get through today.
Articles on Christmas? People write articles for Christmas? These better all be about Iron Man 3.
Well, I can't guarantee they're all about Iron Man 3, but let's go to so the first article that I have is Amber Heard and Nat Wolf discussing humanizing the stands of villains. I I hate her so much. Amber Heard and Nat Wolf discuss humanizing the Stand's victims, the long-awaited new adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand, which they destroyed. Saw the first 2 episodes. Sorry, folks, I don't know if I can stick with the rest of the series, but anyways, The Stand finally hit CBS All Access just this last week. Briefly, the story features an epic clash between good and evil after 96% of the Earth's population has been deleted following the outbreak of a deadly virus. And it seems that most of the Stand's cast is pretty enthusiastic about the characters they are bringing to the small screen. While talking to comic book, actress Amber Heard spoke in details about Nadine Cross, the teaching grade school she is playing, which is kind of weird because this character is in the original like a conniving, drifting, sort of whorish character. Fits her well. No one knows how to define her. Probably least of all herself, Heard says. She is struggling with a dark past and lots of secrets and a very, very complicated dynamic with supernatural force. And while she is presented with, for the first time, perhaps love and humanity in the form of a relationship she's been able to form since meeting Larry and coming to the Boulder Free Zone, she ultimately is a tragic character when you realize the choices she's being presented with. This reality is almost too late. In the same interview, Heard also said that her favorite scenes in the series are the final ones, which take place in Vegas. According to Heard, they feel epic and bigger than anything else. Actor Nat Wolf confessed that he feels lucky to portray Lloyd, who is Wolf's favorite character in the book. However, he wasn't supposed to play that lost a soul on the series. Wolf confessed that he should have portrayed someone else on The Stand, a character whose name he didn't reveal. I am a huge fan of Stephen King, Wolf said to Comic Book. I read the book when I was in high school, but then Josh Boone attached me to this project when I was 18 and a different character. And then, as the projects take a bunch of years to get made, I aged right into my favorite character in the whole book. So I was lucky to have it happen when it did. The actor then added, the world has changed since the first television adaptation in 1994. The modern adaptation reflects the world better as it is nowadays. No, it does not.
Editorializing again, or is that the end of the article?
No, that was editorializing. That was the end of the article. So
it's both. I did not expect that to be the answer. My mistake.
So, PB, I don't know. You probably, if you have ever been on the internet, heard this whole thing going on with Amber Heard.
What's the internet?
Isn't it kind of ironic that she lands the role of a character who so fits her in real life?
I mean, you wouldn't think that somebody would take up a role of something that's supposed to be fiction, where you can just go on screen and play yourself, and they're like, yeah, this is a fictionalized character right here, and you're like, but she was just playing herself. I saw her bite someone's finger off in the movie. I mean, the same thing allegedly happened to Chris D'Elia in what was it, season 2 of the Netflix show You. They
Oh
cast
my God,
him
that
as
was
this.
scary.
Right, they cast him as this thing that he was being accused of publicly, but this was after the accusation. So, as a person in Hollywood, whether you're an actor, comedian, whatever, but if you're going to take a role, why would you take a role to shine light on something that portrays you in a negative light that's allegedly real? It doesn't make any sense. It's almost like the people who are bringing it up about him had no standing. So he was like, "Oh, of course I could do this. I'm getting paid to act. I know how to act. Like I'm a comedian. They want me to be a comedian. I know how to do that."
You know, you gotta wonder if he looked at the other part of that script and was like, yeah, I know how to do that too. Like,
I mean, there is something to be said because I can take the other position of plausible deniability, because now you're gonna have somebody who reads about this in the future who didn't know about it but had watched the TV show, and they're gonna go, "Wait a second, this sounds eerily familiar. Wait, how is it that I'm reading this real life story on something that happened in a TV show? What the hell?" They're like, "No, it's real." And you're like, "No, it happened in a TV show." They're like, "No, this happened before the show." And then he took the part to cover it up. I was like, "Well, I don't know about that, guys." Or I'm sorry, I don't mean to say guys. What I meant to say was interneters.
and at Generation Productions, currently I'm living in a hotel, so if your posters come, I will have to keep a sharp lookout with my X-ray vision. Really quick, if you guys don't know, I've been living in a motel with my lovely girlfriend. We've hit a big of a snag. One might call it the apocalypse.
He's
We're all good though.
Kryptonian. Somebody called ICE, and he had to get the hell out of there.
But no, I wanted to PB. I wanted to actually point out some fans. You know, since I've been doing this scrutiny of the stunning and beautiful Amber Heard and calling to light her bullshit. I've been surrounded by this wonderful community, and I had and I still do have up a GoFundMe, and not only them, but numerous people, fans of here too, have donated to our GoFundMe, and I wanted to thank them again because I feel like I thanked them this morning. I shot a thank you video, but it doesn't feel like I've thanked people enough because you've known me for a while. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's like, I have a flat tire. Everybody go, send me some money. But the girl put it up, and we've just both been really, I don't know how to put it, touched, moved by how much people in the community cares. And you know what's funny? They call people in the community, bots and, all of this horrible stuff.
That's not where
And
I
yet
thought you were going.
and it's funny because I've had so many of these supposed bots send us good wishes and wish my girlfriend a speedy recovery and giving us tips on how to get better and things like that, and donating to GoFundMe. So if you guys are all bots, then hell, I appreciate you in Russia. But
Tell your bot friends. Bring all the bots.
And especially, shout out to everyone. Even GP in there in the
who's
chat.
Everyone? You meant everyone. I thought there was somebody in the chat called Everyone.
No, shout out to everybody because you guys have just been wonderful. And, I had 12 people watching this morning, and it's just been great. My subs are almost at 500. It's just
been 1 week.
1 week,
You got a
1 week,
chance.
guys, to make it to 500 before the end of the year. And you know, shit, man, when you were my 100 sub, did you ever think I'd be on my way to 5?
I mean, yeah. In fact, I thought that we were going to be there sooner, but we hit a little stagnation there for a moment when we were called evil. I was like, okay, well, I guess you guys could go watch something else, and we'll just continue being hilariously evil.
And you know, it's worked. It's worked for me. And you know,
Dude, it
also
always
too,
works. Like the biggest reason why I'm not growing at the rate that you're growing, which, yeah, it's not super fast, but it's going. I just don't upload as much as I used to.
yeah, which is like, you know, that is understandable because you got things going on.
I gotta
We
go.
all
I
do.
gotta go work outside, man. Like it's hard to do that type of stuff when you're working outside. Like there was a couple moments at the job where I was like, okay, there's nobody here. I'm waiting for the next customer. Let's shoot a short video. And then the next customer would show up a minute later, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing that anymore.
But welcome to our Christmas special. You're here with the General and with PB. We're reading some hilarious articles, shooting the shit with you guys. I'm thanking you. You know, we're
Did
just
you
here to.
send the link to anybody else?
Oh yeah, I sent it to the group. I sent it to LB, and I asked Stevie, but apparently he's got little dingoes holding him hostage. Which, by the way, shout out to Stevie J Reviews because I went on to talk to him about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp in the court case. We had like 2 or 3 great conversations about it, and you know, some of his fans came on over here, and you know, it's just been amazing. Like, you know, Stevie's doing big things. He's talking to really huge people, and he is very busy fighting off kangaroos and apparently fans. And did you know Stevie torques too? We have to pay to his charity. PB, if we gather $1,000, we can see Stevie torque. I will take out a loan to see this. I think that would be amazing. Oh yeah,
Australian twerking? I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either until he sent out a sent out a thing. Oh, Generation Productions. If you didn't know, my girl had tested positive for corona. She's better now, but it had caused a huge rift in my house, and we had to leave. We only had 2 days notice, so we booked a room in a hotel, and we got an apartment almost instantaneously. But we started a GoFundMe because we were really worried. We dipped into everything we had saved. We took a really big gamble, and we called for help from everyone, and everyone in the community rallied together. And thanks to you guys, we're able to put down the security deposit and even pay for a few weeks here so that we can wait for the place to be ready for us to move in. So it'll be like 8 week, yeah.
So are you moving more into the city or more into the country or exactly the same?
The same.
Aww.
But once we are in there, I'm going to shoot a video and show you guys the new place. But it's thanks to you guys helping us out that we're able to stay on our feet when we're not like in our car sleeping in a parking lot. So it's I mean, I can't even describe how.
No more car videos. That's sad.
Oh, come on. The car videos will never die. I plan on shooting car videos even when I have my own place, just because I love my car. She's in the shop right now.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you love your car. More like because the unicorn likes it to be just a little quieter. And you get a little worked up when you talk about the Amber Heard.
Yeah, I do. Just a little bit. But We're just here kicking it with you guys for Christmas. You know, who knows how long we're gonna go. We're gonna have some witty banter back and forth, but I really wanted this to be sort of lighthearted. I tried to pick out some non-infuriating articles. I've got an interesting one, and this was brought to me by my dad,
swing and a
actually.
miss with that first article.
This was
Not
brought to me.
lighthearted, slightly infuriating. Like you had to editorialize right at the end.
I'm sorry, it's Amber Heard. She deserves backlash. But anyways, so we've been talking about the harassment section, and there's a person that has gone through some shit, and it really frames what it's like for being a domestic violence victim and how they can carry it into their personal lives. And I wanted to talk about Shia LaBeouf because, boy,
Okay,
this guy,
also not lighthearted. Continue.
this guy. So apparently, he was rumored to go into the MCU, but some stuff has surfaced, and I want to talk about it, get your opinions, see what the chat thought. So let's jump right into this next article. It's by our favorite folks from We Got This Covered, but he did an interview with the Times, so it's just stuff that they source from other people. Marvel ditches plans to work with Shia LaBeouf after sexual battery lawsuit. So Shia
No, you're
LaBeouf.
supposed to put your batteries inside your sexual toys before you use them for safety.
So, Shia LaBeouf has not had a great 2020. At the beginning of the year, things looked rosy. He'd apparently overcome his alcohol dependency issues and was picking up good notice for Honey Boy and won audiences over with the excellent Peanut Butter Falcon, which was a great movie. And there were multiple reports that major studios were considering him a rising prospect again. The peak came when he beat out several A-list competitors for a role in Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling, apparently making his mainstream comeback. Then the lawsuit from his former partner, Talia Bernadette, Twigs, hit the news. This alleged a shocking litany of abusive behavior, including strangulations, beatings, and intentionally infecting her with an STD, and getting his kicks by shooting stray dogs. Jesus Christ. The allegations were backed up by other women, and quite rightly have blown a hole in his career revival. One role he reportedly missed out on is an unknown Marvel Studios part. According to the Vanity, Kevin and co were impressed with Honey Boy and were lining up a job for LaBeouf, but this is definitely not happening now. It's theorized he could have been eyed for Moon Knight, which wound up going to Oscar Isaac. But I've always liked the fan casting for Wolverine. Any dreams LaBeouf had of strapping on a cape and entering the MCU are toast now. As such, the lawsuit dropped. He's been booted from a lot of upcoming roles. Variety reported that he's not attached to any projects right now, and he seems he's set to return to the wilderness and will try to rebuild his reputation once again. Whether he deserves a second or third or fourth chance isn't up to me, but I struggle to see audiences warming up given he's been unable to deny executing dogs. That's the kind of allegation that sticks. So I highlighted this because really? So PB listed he abused, strangled, hit this woman, which he doesn't deny, and other women have come forward. But he shot a stray dog, and this is the sticking point of ending his career. Did I miss
Dude.
something in this article?
No, you did not miss anything. There are way, way too many people out there. One of them is in my living room that put animal life above human life. I don't understand it. I mean, I suppose to each their own goes the same, but I don't necessarily have a problem with getting rid of packs of stray dogs roaming the streets.
I mean, but here's the thing it seems so ass backwards to me, right? Now, Johnny Depp is being torpedoed and had hit pieces made on him
You sank
about
my
shit
battleship.
that hasn't that hasn't been proven, right? He is innocent. He's had exes that have come out. How many exes would speak good about men? I know mine wouldn't. He's had exes come out and go, "Oh no, Johnny, not abusive, not whatsoever." He's had numerous people come forward and say these allegations are bullshit. Now we flip the coin and we have someone who doesn't deny it and been on interviews and said, "Yeah, I got fucked up and I don't remember anything." I mean, just downright.
That sounds like a good time.
Basically admitting that they may have done some horrendous shit. But the thing the media highlights is that he shot a stray dog. What the fuck? That's all I can say.
Yeah,
PB.
because
what?
Shooting any stray animal and without you or me or anyone knowing the circumstances puts him at exactly the same level as Hitler, doesn't it?
Like, these are the same people. Keep this in mind. The same exact magazine too that quoted this bullshit THR article that was one-sided, written by a female, of course, about how bad Johnny Depp is, and oh my God, he did drugs, so he must have did everything she said. Those same assholes, and yet in this article they glaze over, like they list all of the stuff and they say, but will he be forgiven for shooting those dogs? It's like, what? First of all, you're talking about him being forgiven for stuff that's actually being proven true. And then the takeaway from all of that is he shot a stray dog. I mean, I'll tell you guys the story from Zod's early years. There was a neighbor's dog that used to come in. There was a neighbor's dog that used to come in, steal little Zod's toys, and this was before Zod got his powers. And Mama Zod would warn the neighbors not to let the dog in.
You got your powers?
Story. Before
you got your powers. So this is before Krypton blew up. Good to know.
So Mama Zod went to the fellow neighbor's house and said, "Hey, chain up your dog." And repeatedly the dog would roam over. Well, one day that dog, and keep in mind, this dog belonged to someone that was a nasty fucking dog. It was a real prick. I wasn't the first one, apparently, that this happened to, but the dog wandered over, and I was just a young little dictator playing with my toys. I had visions of conquering the world in my head, and this fucker bit my hand, then stole my toy, went over back to where it came from, and buried my fucking toy. So then the dog comes back to steal another toy. So what does Mama Zod do? Like any good dictator's mother, she got out the 12-gauge shotgun and shot that fucker, buried it in the backyard.
Oh no! Cancel Zod's mom.
So apparently, my mom is the most horrendous person ever because this dog that nobody was watching, that was threatening her child who was young at the time, and bit me and had been warned several times. The cops had been called on this house several times, and they come by, hey, chain up your dog. But the funniest part of the story was, I was a young lad, and the police had come over after this event because apparently the neighbors reported the dog missing. So they come over, and back then Zod didn't realize that the local Earth authorities could fine Mama Zod for doing such a thing, and there were other legal ramifications. And I was bragging to everyone that Mom had shot the dog. So here I was, a little, and we're going, "Hey, officer, guess what my mom did?" And she goes, "Oh, time to
so
go to bed
you've
now."
had a big mouth your entire life.
Yeah, it's probably fitting. I was going to end up on YouTube, but so there you go. Hashtag cancel Mama Zod. But the point being, okay, you don't know if these dogs were growling, if they were stray dogs, if they were vicious, maybe they bared their teeth, they could have threatened. I mean, the dog defense seems a little bit more defendable than beating and strangling a human being. Like, this is how Hollywood has gotten.
All those humans deserved it. That dog, he's just standing there. He won't do nothing wrong. He ain't gonna hurt anybody. He doesn't have any diseases or nothing like that. He's just a stray little dog who can't hurt nobody. But these human fucks, they need to be put in their places.
I know. I mean, think about it, folks. Think about it. We have, hey, happy Dinosaur 8000 and Merry Christmas to you too. We have a article of a guy who's using drugs, but he's going in blackout rages. He's doing horrible things to his girlfriend. There's reports he did it to his other previous girlfriends. And the thing that the media chooses to highlight is that he shoots a fucking stray dog, which we don't even know the context. Could have had rabies, could have been threatening him and his girlfriend. And,
right, like if you're going to, let's say, just bring some information to light, right? Because that's all they're doing, or at least that's all they're claiming to do. Because that's what they'd say. They say, "Oh, well, we're just letting you know he shot the dog. You're the one who can decide how you feel about it." Okay, well, if that's the case, like you say, where is the rest of the information? Like, what? He didn't just shoot the dog because he went out to do some target practice. I guarantee you that ain't why he shot this dog. Guaranteed. That's not why people shoot stray dogs. Never seen it in my life. And if you are one of those people, yeah, you can go and be one of those human fucks that needs to be put in their place. But the typical person who's getting rid of stray animals isn't doing it for target practice.
Like, this is the thing that's become, like, the media, and I wanted to highlight it today because I thought you and me could get a jolly laugh about it. This is jolly, right? The media is comical these days. Okay, I'll catch you up on an article I did earlier. So, promising young woman has an older woman who plays the role. She's probably in her late 30s, and she plays it tremendously. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, for an older woman, she's really good looking. And this asshole at Vanity writes a piece. Oh, thank you, but you gave me the facts. I love having a fact checker in the background who looks sexy. Anyways. So, okay, she is 30 years old playing a role when the woman is Okay, she's 35 and she's playing a 30-year-old. And they say in this review, try saying that 10 times fast.
No,
They
I can
say,
see why she's bitchy. She gave you the facts like 10 seconds ago. You got them immediately backwards.
so she's playing this role. And this guy from this asshole magazine writes about the movie, right? And he's going through his normal spiel. Oh yeah, the colors are great, blah blah blah. And then and she comes out and says something in this. And PB, you tell me if it's warranted for an actress to say this, because this is pretty fucked up. This next part, he goes, she did a great job, but Margot Robbie is the co-producer, and I can't help but to feel that this role was made for her. And so she reads this article, and she comes out and she calls him out. So basically, the guy implied that she was too old, and a younger actress was probably made for this role. Like, and so she comes out
much.
And she comes out very classy, but she just says, I woke up, I'm going to read reviews. And she goes, I know I shouldn't read them and whatever else. Really sounds cool and down to earth. But she goes, is it just me? Or is it like a double slap in the face that not only do you call me old, but you say you could see another actress playing this role? This is what reviewing has come down to. They don't mention the fact that she does a phenomenal job, that movie is going to fucking stay with me for years. But their takeaway is, why didn't another younger actress play him? And they wonder why these actresses get all of this Botox and shit. Like, when they come out and they say, oh, it's harder, I actually see it. This asshole just proved how fucking biased they are. And then these same assholes have the nerve to call us trolls and stuff. But they're the ones who project this shit. I mean, the guy literally wrote this art. You can look up this article from Variety. He wrote this. They tried to retract it, but it's too late. The media's already got it now.
Yeah, you published it, guy. There's no going back. You put it on the internet. Somebody read it and they're like, oh, click save. Thank you.
Like, PB, let me tell you, we've heard actors and actresses and we've read articles where we've mocked them and we've heard the stupidest reasons that they come out and say stuff. But to me, that seems like a pretty valid complaint. Like, when you think about that statement and like the way you must feel when you go to see your movie reviewed and some asshole who claims to be a top critic, and I'm doing quotations, says, oh yeah, I like this, and this, but yeah, you're just too fucking old, and why wasn't Margot Robbie in it? And why the fuck does Margot Robbie need to be in everything? Like,
because she's the greatest actress of her generation, don't you know?
Like, the only thing I've seen her in where it was her legitimately acting was I, Tonya, which was a very good movie. She had some strong acting.
What the hell is I, Tonya? You don't think that she was acting in Wolf of Wall Street?
She was all right in that too, but honestly, I forgot that was her.
What?
Oh yeah. I honestly, before I realized she was in it and rewatched it in that one particular scene, I was like, oh yeah, she was.
Oh my God! Of course you would say that one particular scene. Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, but here's the thing. This actress, I looked up her filmography. She's been in a lot of different things, and it just shows you how disingenuous the media is and how hypocritical they are. Because if you or me, or let's say a YouTuber who could actually get noticed, right? If we made a review and we said that, do you know how many of these fucking weirdos would be blazing up the comments, go, what do you mean she's too old? What are you trying to say, you fucking sexist pig?
Oh my god. So who did I watch most recently do a review of something? I believe it was The Critical Drinker. So let's imagine the Critical Drinker saying those exact same words, as in pull it off of the page, put it into his script or his Uncle Joe teleprompter, TM. Nobody else has that, anyways. And he reads that off, and you go, "What the? Why the fuck would you say that? Why would you say that this actress is too old and that you could just picture it for somebody else?" That was like the whole argument for Detective Pikachu when everybody's like, Pikachu should be Danny DeVito. And I was like, why? So Pikachu doesn't have a voice. Why do you think it should be Danny DeVito? Like, you ain't never heard Danny DeVito say anything that should sound like a Pikachu, considering there's no Pokemon that speaks English or Japanese or whatever the language is in the show, whatever, whatever country you're in. Like, they just say their name over and over again, or they yell like Electabuzz. Like, it doesn't matter, but you're not going to see that. So, like, to have that review, no wonder they tried to pull it down immediately.
Like, and it's funny too. You know the funniest part, and I say this too when I'm doing stuff on Johnny Depp and the insane rage people have. I go, people, calm down, calm down. THR, all of them, calm down. Realize one thing: these people are going to cannibalize themselves, because when this person at Variety said that, he got immediately lambasted and fucking attacked by his own people, like immediately, like The Wrap, The Wire, we got this covered. Fucking probably THR wrote a whole fucking one-page article talking about how strong and powerful she is because, oh my God, this white male said something about her. All of them came out and they started attacking him. I'm like, this is beautiful. This sets the example for everything I'm saying. People, if we just wait long enough, they're going to cannibalize themselves. We won't have to do anything. These morons are literally going to eat themselves alive because they're so fucking stupid that, it's going to be like watching a feeding frenzy at the zoo. The lies and the propaganda that they put out can't sustain. And eventually, the survival of the fittest kicks in. And the first people that they sacrifice is each other.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're big
Because
fans of eating their own as soon as somebody doesn't conform with the one thing they believe. They're like, attack! And it's like, yeah, but I agree with the other 99%. I don't care! I need 100!
I think, every time I think of the media right now, every time I think of these horrendous shills, I always think of classic Star Wars, that great saying in episode 3 where he was like, Anakin, you're dealing in absolutes. Only the Sith deal in absolutes. That's what I feel like we have. We have these people who just deal in an absolute train of thought. It's like, it's either this way or it's no way at all. It's actually like Star Wars really just showed us what the future was going to be like.
Kinda.
So, speaking of SJW, I wanted to talk about one of the most SJW shows I've ever watched. PB, I finally
You're watching the Young Turks?
Oh, God. No, I'd rather stick this plastic fork that I'm using in my eye. No, I am talking about, there is a show of brave, daring, diverse. It takes the concept of Lost and it flips it on its head because there's such a stunning and brave cast. and it's all women on an island instead of men. 'Cause fuck those men. You know where I'm going
Hey,
with this,
man.
right?
Hey. Stunning? Probably. Brave? Possibly. Do I care? Highly unlikely.
So, everybody who doesn't give a shit, everything you need to know about The Wilds, Amazon's Prime's latest survival drama. It happens twice a month. You binge an entire television series and you need something to replace it. You flip around for an hour. You're trying to decide what's next on the docket. When I was in this predicament last week, I tried The Wilds, Amazon Prime's new drama series, and I loved it. The premise at stock first glance, because we've seen it 1,000 times. 9 teenage girls land on a Pacific island and struggle to survive. First off, never seen that before. I want to know the astronomical possibilities of that realistically happening, but we'll continue. They're jazzed up in this article. William Golding's 1954 novel, Lord of the Flies, is the obvious inspiration. Or they're knocking off Lost, which they say, but the show also owes a debt to 2004's drama Lost, which is a fucking horrendous show. Fuck you, JJ, forever, for making that piece of shit that I wasted my life on. There's more than a simple survival at play. There's rising suspicion amongst the girls on the island, and its circumstances are not yet what they seem. Here's everything you need to know about The Wilds, which is now streaming. Caution, if you give a shit, there's mild spoilers ahead, but nothing that you won't learn from watching the pilot trailer. The major game-changing twists occur much later in this brave and stunning drama. And then there's stuff about the show, but I just wanted to point out, wow. Have you sat down and watched this, PB?
Watched what show? The Wilds?
Yes.
So are the Wilds people or are the Wilds the locations? And from
The
that
Wild-
question, you should be able to understand that I ain't seen it.
The Wilds is apparently wherever the fuck they landed. This show. Oh, okay, I know. So,
fact checker engage.
No, actually, my girl wanted to thank someone who's actually not in the chat, but maybe she'll see this. Soka Tano fan donated to the GoFundMe, so she wanted to say thank you. So I'll be sending her a nice message.
Why, thank you, lady.
But anyways, so The Wilds, it has, PB, the most fucking diversity push I've ever seen. Holy fuck,
God.
this show.
So this is the show that you just described to me with all these ladies being brave and bold on an island?
Yes, it is.
What fucking streaming service is this on?
This is on Amazon. You know, Amazon does once in a while, they do this thing where they try one of these shows, and I don't know why the fuck this show hit. But apparently a lot of fucking people like this show. So against my better judgment, I was roped into watching this piece of shit. It's like Lost with diversity and women. And even the premise,
is there, how many episodes have you watched?
So far I've watched the first 3, and then I had to take a break to watch Sabrina, so I could be even more pissed off.
That's fine. Is there, since you say that this show is about checking boxes from the women's side, but are there any of the women in the Wilds that used to be men?
Not that I know of yet, but I'm only 3 episodes in, so I cannot confirm or
Oh,
deny.
so there's still time because guaranteed, like they're not gonna just come out and be like, episode number 1, 2 minutes in, here comes a girl from Into the Wilds or from Out of the Wilds. I don't fucking know how to say it. Hey guys, I'm trans and I'm gonna start growing a mustache because I don't have my hormones.
like, it's so amazing. And like, here's the thing that boggles my mind with this story. Okay, just taking out the diversity bullshit checkmark boxes that they're clearly trying to check. Um, how a group of ladies, specifically just ladies, were on this plane. Maybe it
Wait,
gets
it
explained later.
was like a regular like 747 plane, or are we talking like
Yeah.
a small little private jet that only holds 15, 20 people?
No, it was a regular plane.
Is a
Like,
full-size jet, and the only people to survive are these brave and courageous women.
yeah, it's amazing. It boggles my mind. Like,
All of
I don't
these
even get.
pussy-ass men couldn't handle a little plane crash. Typical. Saving the women and children, or I guess just the women, no children, right? Or at least not yet.
Nope. And I'm just thinking to myself, I hated Lost, but I have to give them credit for one thing. There was a diverse cast. God, I hate using that word, but there really was. And there was not only an explanation as to how all of these fucking people ended up on this plane, but there was backstories to each and every one of them. Now, keep in mind, I'm only 3 episodes in, so I can't like
Now, hold on.
critique it.
How much do you remember of Lost? Because I have a very specific question, which you either know or you don't know.
Unfortunately, enough.
When they took off in the plane, where did they take off from? Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay, that would make the most sense as to why there is, let's call it, natural diversity.
Yes. So, I mean, Lost had it started out interesting, and then oh my god, Abrams.
Yeah, it started off interesting, and then I saw a polar bear run out on a tropical fucking island, and I went, nope, I quit.
You were a better man than me, PB. Better man than me. I had to see it through.
Couldn't do it, guy. I was like, dude, this literally is physically impossible. A polar bear cannot survive. Like, you could have picked any other kind of bear. Like, imagine you're on this tropical island in the middle of nowhere that nobody can ever get to. They almost don't even know it exists. There's no fucking way that there's going to be a goddamn grizzly bear there. So if a grizzly bear runs out of the fucking woods, you're going to go, holy fucking shit, I can't believe there's a grizzly bear here. And then you go, oh, well, at least a grizzly bear, I can understand how it can survive in that climate. A polar bear, get the fuck out of here, JJ.
No, you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not
Background funniness.
But anyways, yeah, I was just like, I believe Zombie here says interspecies erotica.
Oh my god.
I mean, the 2 bears got together, had a polar bear cub.
Yeah, except it's I guess if your parents die and they were the only ones on the island, you're the only one left, right?
And the polar bear was like, "Hey, where the fuck am I? Why the fuck is it so hot?"
Yep. And then he would die because he's a polar bear. Anyway,
I'm sorry, guys. We got way sidetracked with that, but yeah. So
No, we're
my
talking about bullshit diversity. And it's not even real diversity because it's so diverse they couldn't even put a man in the show. Or is the whole point that it has to be women? Like this almost seems like a fucking what do I want to say? Reality competition show of who can survive the island.
I gotta tell you, I don't know, but apparently I've been promised a major plot twist, so I'm gonna see this bullshit through because I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm the same person who watched all of Card, so I mean,
Was there a
there
major
better
plot twist in Picard?
yeah, the show fucking sucks. Sorry, I
I was gonna
spoiled
say
it.
the plot twist was they spoiled everything, and by spoiled I mean, hey, you know this character that you really liked? Yep, you don't need to anymore. Hey, you know this fucking what do I want to say? I guess species is that what we got to call them? You know that you thought was really badass? Forget about that. They're not anymore. I was like, oh well, fuck. All right. I thought this was Star Trek. This is more like Star bullshit. I didn't have a good
But
one there. They're not all winners. Give me a break.
so moving on to some bullshit, I want to talk about Cyberpunk. The most anticipated disappointment.
I was reading through the chat. Dog Paws is having a problem.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh boy. Well, it explains a lot. He's got those like claws at the end of his paws. You know, shit happens.
Dog Paws are not accurate. They are very inaccurate.
No, he's got those like pads, man. You know, that's hard to press buttons. I don't
That's what
know
I'm
how he
saying.
ends up on them streams. But shout out to Cybernetic Husky, by the way. If you guys don't know, he is an official member and in our Christmas background of the Bridge Crew. So shout out to you. Shout out to Perp Minded,
And
wherever you are.
I wasn't done with the Cybernetic Husky plug, man. Affiliate
Go
on
ahead.
Twitch. Go check him out. Put the link in the chat, man. I know you got it. Not you, him. He has a wrench. He can do it. Okay, now you can move on to the Purple Man.
Okay, and of course, Perp, who I'm sure is trying to defend Wonder Woman 1984 right now, so he's busy.
Really?
Because I know I haven't seen his review. I'm gonna go back through and watch it because I've been curious. I decided to watch everyone else's first because I know Perp is gonna be trolling us.
Yeah, he's gonna spoil the hell out. He's gonna be like, well, no spoiler, but this happens, motherfucker.
So I went to the ones that were actually spoiler free.
Smart.
But no, I was curious because I'm now interested in how Perp was so jazzed up for this. And I mean, I felt like his promo didn't have much gusto to it. I'm like, oh, Perp, man, you ain't pushing that Wonder Woman 1984 review very hard. And then LB had his up and immediately pulled it down. And I'm like, wow, this movie just must be fucking disappointing everybody. Like,
He pulled his review down, not just
oh, yeah,
the watch along that he did.
Yeah, I went to check it out because I'm like, you know, LB has some pretty sensible points, and it said this video has been deleted, and I was like, what?
Really?
I was like, damn, it's so disappointing. LB didn't even want to keep it up.
Oh, yeah, sure enough. Looking right now, well, that's disappointing.
But moving right along. So, you know, Cdprojekt released Cyberpunk. I haven't had a chance to play it, and look, I played Last of Us 2. I like to think that I pointed out the things that were pretty relevant in the game. I was very disappointed, but not for the same reasons, and people seem to enjoy it. So, I think I might play Cyberpunk, but one reviewer I like called GG Man Lives. He always has pretty in-depth, very technical reviews and stuff like that. And looking at his gameplay and things like that, I still want to play it, but I want to talk about the fucked up aspect of this because Cdprojekts did do some pretty shady shit, and they've had to refund a lot of copies, and it's just been disastrous. So now, if it couldn't get worse, I'm gonna read you guys this article. Holy crap!
Oh man, yeah, then it's definitely getting worse. You're gonna read?
So, cyberpunk maker Cdprojekt sued by investors over botched launch. Cdprojekt, the Polish video game publisher of Cyberpunk 2077, was sued by an investor who claimed the company misled him about the potential of the era-plagued game, whose botched release this month caused shares to take a nosedive. Andrew Trump sued Thursday in federal courts in Los Angeles and seeks to represent other investors who brought the company's securities. Cdprojekt failed to disclose Cyberpunk 2077 was virtually unplayable on the current generation Xbox and PlayStation systems due to enormous number of bugs, according to the complaint. As a result, Sony Corp removed Cyberpunk from its PlayStation Store, and Sony, Microsoft Corp, and the companies were forced to fully refund the game, according to the complaint. Cyberpunk fails to deliver again as the game's sales disappoint. The company's American distributory receipts fell 25% in 3 days after Cyberpunk 2077 was released on December 10th. They fell another 16% after Sony removed the game from the PlayStation Store on December 18th. Cdprojekt's representatives did not respond to an email request for comments sent after regular business hours. So, wow. It's like the person I listened to got it on PC, and apparently there's things you can do on the PC to fix glitches, certain settings, and things like that. But for us people who have a console, there's no way to adjust or fix. You gotta get a patch from the company or the Microsoft or whoever makes the patches to patch up a game, which takes fucking 3 hours to download to begin with, and then another fucking hour and a half if there's a patch or added features or whatever. So, I mean, damn, man, what do you think about this?
Oh my god, I want to go back in time. Is that too much to ask? Like not like way back in time, just back in time far enough that I can purchase a game, come home, put it in my console, and fucking play all the way through, all the way to the end, play all the extra stuff, complete it 100% without having to download hundreds of gigs of updates over the course of only God knows how fucking long, because they never know when they're going to find another fucking glitch, because they just put the fucking game together and they throw it out and they go, hey, you know how we can test this for real cheap? We'll just throw the fucking game out there, and when people come across the glitch that fucks them out of money, like actually fucks you out of money. You paid to do this specific thing. You paid for a bonus for a certain amount of time, and now you're not able to use it because of a glitch. Oh, don't worry. We'll update it. And then if you don't have a great internet connection, or if you don't have enough data, like if you don't have the style of plan that has unlimited data, you don't get to play the game. You just don't get to play. They're like, you haven't updated. You don't get to continue. Do not pass go. Period. Do not collect $200. You already paid us the $200. You don't get it back. You don't get to go past go. Sit where the fuck you are, and I don't know, have a Tootsie Pop, because that's about all you get to do. Thanks, game developers. I'm so glad we have 4K graphics. Makes it so much fucking better, doesn't it?
You know what?
Is that concise enough?
This was beautiful because for a second I was gonna be the one who I thought was gonna rant on this one, and then I'm like, I remember your feelings and us having a similar conversation. I can't remember what the fuck other game it was about, and I remember you going off on a rant, and I go, you know what? This article's for you. You're just gonna take this one. I'm gonna sit back and just listen, because that was. I mean, you said everything there is to say. Look, this has been a problem that's been plaguing video games. And Lemon Pie says, PB, when was that? When you could purchase a game? 2000?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm trying to think. Even on my PlayStation 3, if they were making games for it that you could just put in and play, and I'm pretty sure that there was at least some games for that, because I want to say at least the Lego games that I have for that. I don't remember it telling me that I needed to do any type of update or installation even. Like, that shit pisses me off too. Like, I have the goddamn disc. This is a video game console. I specifically bought a video game console to play video games, not to sit here and install shit every fucking time I have to buy a new fucking game, you pricks. That is supposed to be for the PC Master Race, because we're so much better than you with our installation files. Fuck that. Just put it in and let me fucking play.
Man, I was just sitting here laughing. My girl's tired, but she's smiling because, she could hear the rant. And I was like, it's sad because I did a compare and contrast. And I watched someone downloading this game for the PC. And then I watched it for the Xbox. And I was like, these motherfucking pricks won, PB. They finally, it took them a couple of years, but these PC pricks have won because that installation time, that motherfucker just went zoop. And I mean, yeah, I know it goes by your internet connection and shit like that, but these motherfuckers, they beat us, PB. I don't know how many years it took, but they fucking beat us.
Yep. And they're like, hey, you finally have to do it the way we've been doing it. We prepare to play video games just as long as we play them. Aren't we special?
And, the fucking hilarious part is the only people who could review this game or do these streams had to do it on PC because on Xbox and PlayStation and shit like that, the glitches were so bad. And I mean, this brings me up to points we've been talking about before as far as gaming goes, where, like you said, these developers have been releasing these games and they're just not ready to be released. And look, Cyberpunk has an interesting history because I feel like they were pushed to bring this game out, right? There was a lot of hype, anticipation. I don't think any game they would have released would have quite lived up to the hype. But you know what would have? If you could fucking play the game, it would have.
We don't know if it'll live up to the hype. You can't fucking play it.
If you would have been able to put the fucking game in your system day one after you did your bullshit 3-hour download, and you were like,
isn't that the fucking beautiful thing? Like, hey, we'll let you download the game early so that when it goes live, you can just boom, Start playing that motherfucker on day one. You can be one of those special day one people, unless you had to work during the day, and by the time you get home from work, those other fucking 10,000 people found a goddamn glitch. So now the game's already shut the fuck down. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna play fucking Cyberpunk. This is gonna be spectacular. You turn around, you're like, servers are shut down. Oh God!
And you know what? There
$70 for new games, right? $70 now. 70.
Yep.
Fucking A, man. Like, these games are not more difficult to develop than a game for the fucking Game Boy. Are you fucking kidding me? It took them 6 fucking years to make the original Pokemon. That's a goddamn Game Boy game. 6 years. But you're telling me that these games nowadays are so goddamn complex. Bullshit. All you did was take your artwork and you put it on the Unreal Engine. You're like, look at it go. Oh, there's a glitch. Just wait a week. We'll have an update for
it. Dude, I can't even respond because, I mean, through your rants of torment and pain, that's pretty much...
I don't even have these new systems. But why would I want to get these new systems when all I'm going to have to do is be like, hey, I want to go home. I'm going to play some Madden. Be like, nope, you can't play online because you don't have the newest rosters. Be like, I just updated the roster last week. Okay, well, I guess I'll update the roster again. So you go and you update the fucking roster. But you know what you do in the meantime? You get distracted with fucking life. So then you go about your fucking life. And by the time that you remembered that you wanted to play XYZ video game, i.e. Madden, you're like, oh, fuck, I was going to play it. Oh, well, it's too late. I got to go to bed because I got to get up for work in the morning. Somebody has to make the donuts, and that somebody is me. So I go to bed. And then I was like, well, I'm a little too tired to play games tonight, so I'm not going to play it tonight. And then the next week rolls around, you're like, oh, man, Packers lost this week. You know how I can make myself feel better? I'll play a little Madden. Let's boot that son of a bitch up. Oh, you need to update the roster again. Motherfucker, are you fucking... I just fucking did this again every fucking week. Like, you make a change in the NFL. Now, I need to make the change. No, this is a video game. When I bought Madden 2003, 2003? Was it 2000? Is it 2003, 2004? I know 2004 is the one with Vic. I think 2003 was Sean Alexander. I didn't have this problem. I was sitting there playing it on a PlayStation 2. You just put that motherfucker in and you play. If you want to play online, you know what you did? You just went online, you played. That's all you had to do. It's unbelievable. And that's the PlayStation 2. And they're like, hey, we're going to streamline everything for you guys. It's going to be so easy to connect to people. You'll have your friends list and everything. Everything's going to be right there on your freaking home screen. It's going to be wonderful. Except for the fact you got to fucking update. And you ain't got the fucking time. So go do something else. Okay, I'll be back in the future then when I also can't play video games on my video game system. Thank you, modern technology, so much.
You know, it's kind of funny because it almost makes this YouTubing thing like fucking rocket science. Like, you know, it's sad because YouTubing used to be, you know, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And now look at us, man. When we first started, we had Hangouts and no graphics. And now we got this cool little Christmas setting to make y'all feel welcomed here in the fandom zone for this Christmas. I got my little hat on. PB's got his hat on. Right? We could do all this shit. Literally took me 5 minutes. Didn't have to download anything. Well, I did have to download this
No,
background. But
you copy pasted and you put it in the real engine. Boom.
and bam, we got a show. But these fucking geniuses, I mean, these guys literally get paid millions of dollars, and they can't. Since fucking what 2019, 2018, they haven't been able to release a game that wasn't buggy, wasn't glitchy, didn't need a patch, didn't need a DLC, didn't need this extra fucking bullshit just so you could play the rest of the game. Oh, we'll give you half the campaign, but if you want the whole story, you got to download this DLC for another fucking $20. Really? So,
Yep.
what was I playing for fucking a 3-hour campaign? Because remember the good old days? Like, fuck, let me tell you something. The original Resident Evil or Metal Gear Solid, those took me months, PB, months. Me and my friends had a speed challenge. It took us a week of staying at each other's houses, sleeping in shifts, and literally living like hobos to beat that game in a week. And we were so happy because that game, I am convinced, if you played it by yourself with no fucking help, would take you years to fucking beat. Because hiding in a cardboard box apparently is a fucking art. And I mean, like, Resident... and I mean, like, fucking Resident Evil, man. Oh, what's up, Stone Cold Jeremy? By the way, shout out to Stone Cold and everyone else who was on the donations and donated to me. I appreciate you guys. Much love. But we're talking about games and how Cyberpunk has epically failed, and I don't blame Cyberpunk. I blame the companies because, like, Cdprojekt, they are part of a larger group that comes back to a larger issue, is that these developers are being pressured by these companies, and the companies don't give a shit about bringing good content. If they're like 6 years in, they're like, oh, 6 years, they're anticipating this, hurry the fuck up. And it's like, yeah, but we kind of didn't finish this level or really polish this. Oh, fuck it, you could just throw a patch in there. They'll still pay $70. I mean,
Well, yeah.
say what you will about Blizzard, but I'll give them one thing. Man, that alpha came out for Diablo Immortal, and I gotta say, yeah, I got a fucking cell phone. I'm pretty glad I do, because that shit looks more polished, and it's just in its alpha phase. It's not even in beta testing, and that game is looking better than half of the bullshit that's come out. And it really speaks to a company that, like, knows they got to get something right versus these companies that get the pressure from their investors and they just release shit. And I blame the investors too, because it's a game. I don't think they even fucking realize what they're asking these people to do and the time frame they're asking them to do it in.
I mean, maybe we're just too old, and I could be entirely wrong with this point, but it seemed like as time goes along, we get more and more away from video games having passion put into them and being solely focused on having the stock price being lifted.
That is that's a really, really great point, because that hits the nail on the head. I mean, it really does. It's different game type of culture, and I like what Stone Cold says. He says, I partly blame people because it seems like people just want to pile on. I have and am playing Cyberpunk and enjoying it thoroughly. And look, I've heard the same thing from a lot of reviewers. Like I said, GG Man Lives does a review on it, and it legitimately made me still want to play this. Granted, he does say he has a PC and he tweaked the shit out of it and did a couple of adjustments, but he's ran through it a couple of times. So, I mean, there's a good game in there. But, you know, this mounting pressure, you probably had the investors who had all of this hype and they're seeing money and they're like, come on, you got to get this out by the Christmas season. We got to make this fucking money. And, you know, it's a combination of all of these things coming together. And, you know, even with people settling for bullshit. I mean, we're on what, Call of Duty fucking 930? Like,
We're at Call of Duty. We stopped using numbers and just use subtitles because it's easier, mate.
so I'm down to my last article of the night. I'm trying to keep it short because Bitchy tends to go to sleep early, and I'm going to, you know, go over there and snuggle with her. She's flipped me off. Love you too, dear.
I get where she's coming from. I do the same thing too, except it's just like less satisfying because it's me just flipping my phone off instead of him being able to see it.
And Black Angus, welcome. Black Angus comes in and says, poop.
That sounds about right.
Speaking of which, while we have Black Angus here, I'm gonna get sidetracked from my last article because remember I was on Black Angus's show, Utter Chaos.
Yeah, you were on his fucking show and told him that I would remember when we talked about the stream that he was on with that Star Wars girl. Correct? Yes.
Yeah.
You fucking lied to him.
I thought you'd have a better recollection. Dude, I have almost like 200 episodes.
And how many of those episodes am I on? 199?
Really? I mean, I'm pretty sure
I have no idea how many I'm on. I'm on like over 90% of them.
So I figured, though, that at least at this point, you would remember that we did, in fact.
No, I remember talking about it, and I remember that when I was watching it, and I don't remember if I was watching it live or if I was watching the replay and then watching the live chat replay, and everybody's like, oh man, he's just having his ass handed to him. I was like, are we watching the same thing right now? Because it sounds like one person is just talking and saying a bunch of random stuff, and the other guy, Angus, is letting her put her foot in her mouth all the time. But whatever.
Yes. And I said, well, you would probably maybe be able to ballpark me exactly what video that is.
I don't remember like the date that it happened, because I know that we would have talked about it like what, a week or two later.
Oh yeah, we would have done it on a late night. Zombie, thank you so much. PB is worth every dime I don't pay him.
Not yet, motherfucker.
Yeah, once I get monetized, it'd be like, are you know this shit isn't free anymore.
That's right. I got the invoice ready to go of all of the hours worked. Don't you worry about it.
Oh shit. You and me are both going to be shooting him from a pool house. Be like, yeah, I just had to move him in because it was cheaper. We're just two guys in my pool house talking.
And now you know why when you do the stream without me, people don't show up.
Yeah. But I mean, we were talking about it. I was like, we gotta track down that video because I know it was me, you, and I'm pretty sure we had multiple people talking about.
I thought we did too.
Yeah, we had multiple people talking about it because at the time it was very odd. And me and Angus touched on this, and you guys can go check out that other chaos stream on his channel. It was a blast to be back. Like, oh boy, the fond memories when I was just 50 subs. But we talked about it, and I was like, yeah, we both were like, this is weird, and it was just bullshit. I don't know. Oh, 2019. Good. That should be able to help me narrow it down, I bet.
Okay. End
But, yeah.
of September 2019. So like a year ago, roughly, let's say.
Oh, thank God this shit is all dated. That's going to be the hangout days.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would make sense as to why there were, I don't remember the number, but why there were multiple people talking about it. Like, it's a lot easier to get people in and out of Hangouts. It just is.
Oh yeah.
Was. Nobody ever wants to use it anymore because I suppose if you were running on a computer that can handle all of the fancy stuff and you're running OBS and you know how to handle all that stuff, you can still use Hangouts because then it does the whole screen capture and audio capture, yada, yada, yada. StreamYard is just less complicated.
Yeah, a lot easier to navigate. But yeah, so I'm glad that we could get about a date and approximate way for me to track down the video. But yeah, and I wanted to have you on just to verify. We did talk about it. We all came to a general consensus. It was bullshit. I remember seeing it and being like, wow. Because
it's almost like being called evil for pointing out something that somebody else said. So weird.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious because we were talking about how I had gotten into this new great community with what I'm talking about with Depp and how different it was, and how we were both part of the fandom menace, and how an idea changed. And it's kind of
how they corrupted the fuck out of my hashtag. Is that what you're talking about?
Pretty much.
How it doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean, what it used to mean. And I went on a bender there for a while where all I did was search the fandom menace. Nothing after it, just those 3 words. And I saw what videos popped up. And there was just a bunch of videos, for the most part, of people saying either who the fandom menace is, which is typically an anti-fandom menacer, which more often than not comes down to somebody being uninformed. Like they said, one person said that Cosmic Book News was the shill website for the fandom menace. And I was like, you have that exactly backwards. It's that people in the fandom menace use that like it's the gospel. Like, look at this wonderful rumor. That's a leak. I was like, no, it's a rumor. You had it right the first time. Like, don't use the word leak. Leak means confirmed, but okay. And then on the other side of the coin, a bunch of videos of people saying like, what the fandom menace means to me. And those typically were people that were in the fandom menace or had the fandom menace leanings and actually understood the meaning behind it, as in what its origins were, where it came from, and what it means. It's an unbelievably simple thing. It's you don't care for identity politics in any form in your media. Period. That's it. That's all it comes down to. Any form of identity politics, whether you're talking about ridiculous alphabet people, whether you're talking about some form of racism, fascism, any fucking ism you want to fucking talk about, any type of identity politics, any type of political correctness bullshit, get it the fuck out of here and just give me the story. Whether it's good or bad, I can determine afterwards. But if all you're doing is smacking me left and right with, look at this box that I've checked, look at this box that I've checked, I don't give a fuck about the story that you're telling me or any of the meaning behind it, because all you cared about was checking boxes to balkanize people, to, I don't know, get them to fight over the dumbest fucking things imaginable.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So yeah, all these ridiculous fucks out there that corrupted what I'm going to say is my hashtag, because there's way too many channels on YouTube with far larger subscriber counts, which would mean that they have a far larger reach, not necessarily a larger voice. A lot of them got pussy ass voices. Don't ever forget that. It comes from down in your soul. That's where you gotta speak from. Don't speak from your fucking nasally fucking bullshit. You want to speak like this? You gotta speak from down here, motherfuckers. Stop corrupting my goddamn hashtag and saying that you're in the fandom menace when you're not. You can't be in the fandom menace and think that The Last Jedi is disparate from identity politics. You can like the movie. I'm not saying that. Like, you can say, oh, well, I like the movie, but you can't sit there and tell me it doesn't have all kinds of identity politics bullshit in it. They literally have an entire fucking, what is it, 25, 30-minute scene of horse racing is bad.
Oh my god!
Like, come on, man.
But yeah, I totally
as Uncle Joe would say, come on, man. Good.
So
do you still have another article?
Yeah, I did. One more.
Exciting. So excited. It can't be better than getting me worked up about video games, can it? Is it about Star Wars?
No, I think you covered that one. We're going to Wonder Woman 1984.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
souped up Angelina Jolie. That's what me and the wife were talking about before. Some people were saying that Gal Gadot was a knockoff Angelina Jolie, and she almost made me put a kick or crank or whatever. I don't fucking know. I turned my head so goddamn fast, and I was like, what the fuck? Where did you hear that? She's like, I heard it all over the place. And I was like, well, maybe if somebody's on some ridiculous drugs, because I would say that she is the souped up version of Angelina Jolie. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, that's like comparing apples and oranges.
Right? I can like both of them, but one is definitely better than the other.
So Wonder Woman 1984 director addresses bad timing of Marvel's Black Widow and Eternals delay. Ooh, saucy. Maybe taking a shot at the competition. Let's read on. 2020 has had more than its fair share of difficulties with those in the movie industries, have been particularly affected by the pandemic in a year that delivered to many first world countries, originally set to be a huge year for most major studios, especially Disney and Warner Bros. In 2020. The result in the closure in theaters worldwide to resulting in studios finding alternate ways to release their films to the public. Christmas Day brings the release of Wonder Woman 1984, the most underwhelming movie of the year, which will be one of the first major movies to enjoy a theatrical release in months. It also will be the second high-profile superhero movie after Warner Brothers released Birds of Prey. And sorry. I'm sorry. I messed up that title. In February, and it comes in a year in which no releases came from Marvel Studios since 2009. As one of the most prominent female directors working today, Jenkins took a note of the unfortunate fact her most recent quotes concerning her colleagues at Marvel Studios. In a recent interview with AP News, Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins eliminated the fact that 2020 didn't bring.
Did you just say lemonaded?
Yeah. Or
it could have been lemonaded?
It could have been lamented, but you know.
Oh my god! I was like, I thought, oh my god! I thought for a second it cut out. And I was like, did I fucking hear that? He said lemonaded. I was like, that's some weird fucking Beyonce term. I don't know.
The female-directed blockbuster, because of course they gotta point that out, like Marvel Studios' Black Widows and the Eternals, to the big screen like originally planned, describing the network of directors, including herself, Black Widow's Kate Shortland, and Eternals' Chloe Zhao, as a network of filmmakers who are really kind and help each other because they're women, so yay. Jenkins expressed her sadness to her colleagues and have waited. It's been too bad that this year was the year that they were all going to come out. It's bad timing. And you know what's funny? I'm going to stop right there. It's funny that she made this bullshit interview with this bullshit I feel so bad while her movie is in theaters. Like, oh, you guys, too bad you guys aren't released until next year, but Wonder Woman will be out on Christmas, so you guys can go and watch it. Support a fellow female. Wonder if they did. Wonder if they
Wait a second. Like, you told me that you were going to see a movie earlier tonight. Did you go and see Wonder Woman in the theater?
Fuck no, I went to see a good movie.
Oh my god. Went to go see what?
I went to go see Promising Young Woman.
Are you trolling the fuck out of me?
No, my friend. No, I'm not. And you know what? I don't regret that choice.
Your woman tricked you into going to see that?
Actually, no. I wasn't interested when I read that article that I read earlier tonight, and that Variety guy stuck his foot in his mouth, and I go, "Oh, I gotta go see this motherfucker because I want to see."
Okay, that makes more sense. Somebody put their foot in their fucking mouth. He's like, I'll go check it out.
And boy, well worth it. And Variety, you guys are still douchebags. In the midst of her disappointment, she found a way to celebrate because her movie got fucking released. Of course, she found a way to celebrate. Like, oh, these other empowered female directors won't get to release Black Widow and Eternals, my direct competition. But, you know, woman power. We're in it together.
Yay.
In the midst of her disappointment, she still found a way to celebrate everything that's coming for female directors, but not the theaters. I'm sorry. That wasn't an article. I had to throw that in there. I apologize.
Editorialize.
Partly thanks Jenkins herself opening the doors of 2017's Wonder Woman. The idea that I had the idea no one had done a movie of that scale before I did, and then there are like 5 now on the heels. It is amazing. Obviously, those directors have been out there and ready and waiting, and they're still out there waiting for their movie to get fucking released.
Hell yeah. I mean, almost guaranteed now that Black Widow waited, me and my cousin are going to beat Perp on the bet of which one makes more money at the theater.
Even though Patty Jenkins has established herself as one of DCU's top behind the scenes personalities, it's evident
Oh, I would
that
get behind that scene.
she wants to see her contemporaries at Marvel Studios enjoy the same level of success that she has over the past half decade. Marvel Cinematic Universe has only utilized the services of one female director with Annie Boden's Captain Marvel, which was so fucking great. And Black Widow and the Eternals are led by Kat Shortland and Chloe Zhao, respectively. In 2022, we'll see Nia DaCosta taking over the reins of the upcoming Captain Marvel 2, which should be fucking stunning and brave. After the pandemic related delays and shutdowns, the MCU is completely out of 2020. Jenkins expresses the same sadness toward the MCU delays as she does for her own in the DCEU. Women in movies are taking on more responsibilities every year, and it will be a huge step forward in the industry when these anticipated blockbusters finally make their way to comic book movie fans worldwide. Oh God, I don't know about you, but that is smoke that was blown up all of their asses is so great. It's so brave. I'm so glad. You know what? The people who had their films delayed are probably reading this going, Patty, I can't see any money this year and release my film, but I'm so glad that at least one of us stunning and brave women got to do it. You go, girl. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
She knows how to stroke her own ego. It's impressive.
Black Angus says, I disagree. Like Captain Marvel failing at trying to be a feminist film, WWE 4 failed at any meaningful semblance or critique of Trump. I've been privy to watching this, and I don't think that watching the movie that's what they were going for, but there is a lot of other things that are in there. I won't spoil it. You guys go ahead, go check it out for yourself.
I did notice in my 14 minutes of watching. Yeah, in my 14 minutes, yes.
You picked those
at
out.
the beginning of the movie. No, I don't think that this like affects the movie per se, but I guess it's a light spoiler for something that happens in the movie, but I don't think it has any bearing on the plot, at least not of the 14 minutes I saw. In the ad that you see at the beginning of the movie of the guy who's supposed to be the Trump, right? Yeah, I don't remember his fucking name. You know who I'm talking about?
Maxwell Lord.
Yes, Maxwell Lord. In that ad that he's doing at the beginning, that is supposed to be a spoof of how Trump bamboozled everybody with Trump University. Did you not know that?
Oh, no.
I picked up on that immediately.
I picked up on that night. And you know what, though? You're only 14 minutes in. Trust me. There's a thing in particular. When you get to it, we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do a live stream together and talk spoilers, because had this scene happen in reverse, it would be a very, very different response from critics, and that's all I'm gonna say.
So they don't set their evil guy or evil guys or whatever. Since I have not seen the movie yet, I don't know how it plays out or what, if any, twist there is. Anyway, they don't set it up how they had it set up on Stargirl, do they?
Well,
It's a lot more subtle on that show, how you can look at all of the characters and you can go, wow, I can see how that's supposed to be Donald Trump. And literally 5 seconds later, you can go, wow, I can see how that's supposed to be Joe Biden. I was like, huh, interesting how you can do this on a TV show by keeping the characters vague enough. Like the way that I didn't do a review this way, but I wish that I would have. But Nerdette's newsstand did of the season finale, or maybe it was the penultimate episode of the season. I don't remember. But when she was talking about the evil people's plan to mind wash everybody, essentially, to, get rid of all of the bigotry and racism and inequality and all of the things that makes for sunshine and rainbows, right?
exactly.
Exactly, right? All of these things sound good. And I would think that, yeah, racism, bad, bigotry, bad, all of these things are bad, except the way that they got there was, well, we're just going to kill 25 million people. We'll just, wipe them out. Just get rid of them. It doesn't matter if they were complete racists. It doesn't matter if they just had a racist thought once, but now they're actually not racist. They're like, well, I can't believe that one guy did that. But for you to think, and by you, I mean anybody, if you think that you're going to eliminate any type of bigotry going forward in humans, you are completely insane. That's literally impossible to do because, and this has nothing to do with the way a person is brought up, but has to do with the environment in which they are brought up. There are new bigots and new racists being born every day in the sense that they weren't a racist yesterday, but then they moved to a particular area, and everybody in that particular area, whether white, black, brown, red, green, orange, yellow, purple, whatever, it doesn't matter what fucking color you are, they all treated them the same. They're like, well, these fucking people are terrible. Boom, you're fucking racist, right? Because you think everybody of that particular melanin count is that way. That's a fucking racist. That shit happens on a daily fucking basis. And the only cure for that is time. But unfortunately, the cure is also the problem. Because, like I said, as we go forward in time, new races are created until every single person is the greatest humanitarian on the planet and act the same way. It's still Christmas, at least in my time zone, that Jesus acted, as in treat your neighbor the way you want to be treated, which guess what? That don't always work out great because not everybody's feelings works the same as your feelings. So I don't have a problem with someone, let's say, being a crass asshole to me, right? I don't have a problem with that. You can be
Nope.
as crass as you fucking want. It's not gonna fucking hurt my goddamn fucking feelings. It's not like you're impugning my character. Oh, how dare you! My God, why would you do such a thing? No, like that's not a problem. But other people out there who, they're overly sensitive, I believe. They wouldn't say so. If I talk to them the way that I don't mind being talked to, they think that I'm being a complete fucking asshole. And guess what? I don't disagree with them. But I don't have a problem with people treating me that way. So there's a little bit of a problem with treat your neighbor the way that you want to be treated when some people don't necessarily care how they're treated from other people. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's why I love living in America.
And it's really interesting because the takeaway from this whole thing, right, is that
Oh, what's up, Curtis?
Oh yeah, what's up, Curtis? What's up, Keely? There's
Oh, I missed Keely? Son of a bitch, I was talking for too long.
But here's the thing, is that, there's this very disingenuous sound to this article and the way that she comes off is kind of condescending. And
Massively.
And like, it's just like you said, it's like almost an underlining asshole kind of dickish tone, like, oh yeah, I feel so bad for my competition, but hey,
but if you'd like to prop my movie up, it's in theaters right now. Like, what the fuck?
And like, it's a shame because when she first came out and started,
it's a shame. But if you'd like to prop my movie up,
because I mean, when she first came out, I was like, Patty Jenkins seems pretty decent, competent director, knows how to.
Hold on now. Story. She's definitely a competent director. I haven't seen anything that makes me think she's an incompetent director. Continue.
Exactly. So, but you can see where this thing happens that always happens in Hollywood. It's like a infectious plague of stupidity. Like, once you get into that inner circle, you just start becoming an asshole. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you catch SJW. It's like contagious, because even trying not to be, there's things that come off and you're just like, wow. And when you get into the movie and you see a scene, you'll know what it is. And we'll talk about it, because I'm going to put it to you this way. When you see it and you get the point of what's going on, then think of what happened in reverse and tell me it's not the fucking weirdest thing you've seen in a movie.
I do love doing that with just about everything. And I don't think that enough people out there, when they're speaking or when they're making declarative statements of their opinion, think the opposite. Like, when you say something, that means that typically you think that the opposite is either true or untrue, depending on what you're saying, right? Like, right. If you think that me talking, Packers are the greatest sports franchise mankind has ever known, well, that would mean that the opposite of that is you, whoever you are, the other person I'm talking to, if you don't agree with that, that means your sports franchise isn't the greatest ever. Well, people don't think about that type of thing. What's the opposite of what you are saying? Because everybody, I mean, they're not always doing it, but everybody has the ability to read between the lines. And everything that you say has more meaning than just face value. The only thing that has face value to it is math. If we're going to all talk in math, life is going to be very boring.
But yeah, I mean, because it's just like it was a point that was brought up to me, and then I rethought about it, and now I got to rewatch just with this thing in mind. But when I flipped
Interesting.
this, yeah, when I flipped the script on what I had seen, which at the time I was just like, oh, whatever, it's part of magic. But when I think about it in the inverse and how this person stated why it's weird, I said, yeah, because what are you trying to say to us with this thing? Because if you put it a different way or it's a different person, then all of a sudden the context changes and whoa, you're in a world of shit. But because it's this way, it makes it okay. Now I feel kind of gross. So,
Interesting.
yeah, you're
No,
gonna have fun, and you're a smart guy. I think
let's
you'll
put
pick
it
up,
this
and you're
way.
gonna
Let's
call me
put
and
it
go,
this
"Son
way.
of a bitch."
Maybe I might be a little ahead of the curve, but I listen to too much talk radio, and if you're a leftist, Trump is a fascist, and you can't fucking trust anything that he says. He's lied 26,000 times. I was reading so much hilarious stuff on Twitter in the last fucking day. I didn't post anything, but I was reading some stuff, and it was fucking hilarious. But Joe Biden is the second coming of Christ. He's right behind Zack Snyder. Like they're neck and neck for the greatest people on earth. It's amazing to me. I was like, wait a second. But I thought that you, people on the left, you don't like fascism, but you do like fascism when it agrees with your opinion. You need everybody to believe what I believe and do what I think is right. But fascism is bad. What the fuck? I don't think you know what fascism is if that's what you're abdicating for, but okay.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. But trust me,
Like I have that same issue when talking with she says she's libertarian, but I call her a liberal-tarian. One of my sisters, I believe that you met her during the summer. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. She she doesn't she doesn't say things explicitly, right? She explains to me her point of view, where she's coming from, her opinion, whatever. So then, after she has explained to me what she knows or what she believes or whatever, then I say back to her a sentence, essentially taking this entire fucking paragraph of what you've explained to me and turning it into a thesis statement. And she goes, "That's not what I said, PB." And I go, "I know that's not what you said. It's just what you explained." So don't necessarily get caught up on what people say they didn't say when they have explained their position. And I could tell you exactly what that position means because I know how to read between the lines. I'm very good at it because everything that you've said has an opposite meaning. And if you take people at their word, like, I know this isn't supposed to be a fucking political thing, but it ended up turning political. If you take people at their word, like Nancy Pelosi, she's looked into the 25th Amendment a whole lot, and it ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump. Well, what's supposed to allegedly happen on January 20th? I'll take you at your word, Nancy.
and swinging back things back around. Yeah, so it'll be fun when you read between the lines and you see what I've seen, because I can't wait, because I'm fairly sure you're gonna call me up and go, son of a bitch.
Oh man. See, now I have another reason to be, I guess, invested in the movie, if not the movie, being invested in how the story is connected to the rest of the movies that are in the DCEU, not the Snyderverse. Nobody cares about that universe. It's a dead universe.
Oh no, it's not, because much like the Jesus analogy you gave us, the Holy One, Zach, will come, and he, based on this one blockbuster he's gonna make, all of a sudden he's gonna have a part two, and then we're gonna get spin-offs and the universal reboot, and then they can split it into 3 fucking universes again. Because that's what every fan wanted.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
Jeffrey,
have
what's up? Thank you.
Yeah, what's up, Mega Jetty?
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you, and a Merry Christmas to you too. But I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting, because I am curious to see, before I tell you what has been explained, in a sense, I want to see if you come to that conclusion first. But I just have this feeling, because of how we think, you're going to pick up on it right away.
Okay. The chat does not like good old Uncle Joe, it would appear. Well, maybe it's not that they don't like him. Maybe it's that, and I came to this realization, God, I think like 2 fucking days ago. I went, fucking A, man, am I gonna have to listen to this dumb motherfucker for 4 fucking years? Like, he better be testing his food every time it comes. Like, don't take any drinks from the VP. Just don't.
Not to mention, too, I'm sure everyone appreciated the fact that they were only getting $600. But that's a stream for another day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
start to
a Saturday.
Oh yeah. Surprisingly, though, Saturday we do have an interesting topic that actually leads to a great promo, because we're wrapping things up. This Saturday,
You're welcome.
We thought out of the box, literally, and PB, you're gonna be excited. Ooh,
oh, Star Wars.
Well, actually, UFOs we'll be talking about.
Hey, man, that's pretty fucking close to Star Wars.
Isn't it, though? Yeah, so, guys, if you tune in tomorrow night, we will be talking about the UFO sites, and how, wow, all those times I thought my next door neighbor was fucking crazy, but apparently not. He might have fucking actually seen a flying saucer.
Not well. You can both be crazy and see a UFO, or as the people in the community would call it, a UFO.
So we're going to be talking about it and going over the YouTube video of apparently a fucking low hovering UFO. Did they lay off the Men in Black during all of this? Because I feel like
Trump fired a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the MIB division was let go, because holy shit, like we've got some actual, apparently, footage. And, this isn't the normal shit where, like, people are just taking clips or whatever else. I mean, people are now recording visible things. I mean, camera phones have gotten better since, the fucking 50s in Roswell, New Mexico. So, I mean, wow. It's an interesting topic, because it'll be interesting to not only see what the chat thinks, but in general to talk about, like, the fact that this shit can't be explained anymore with a hot weather balloon and swept under the rug. There's, if there's man, people are stupid as it begins. Could you imagine the hysteria if we actually confirm? If those, of course, if they do land, they talk to Brie Larson, we're fucked. Man, it's gonna be like fucking Independence Day. There's gonna be like, SJW.
What do you mean we? I have not said, well, that's not true. I do have that one trailer reaction from Endgame where I was like, what the fuck, Thor? What the fuck? You like this one? Why? Why?
No, what would be even more fucked up is if they do land and the ambassador is Brie Larson and they actually fucking think we're a highly intelligent race. I'm just gonna fucking, I don't know where I can go. I can't just go to Canada. I have to go to a different fucking solar system because at this point, I just got to give up on intelligent life in this fucking universe.
That'd be terrifying.
Oh, it would be. So we'll be talking about that. And
take us to your leader, Captain Marvel. We saw the movie. We know.
oh shit, man. Scary prospect. Scary prospect. But anyways, it's been fun. Thank you, everybody. Want to thank you for donated to GoFundMe. If you want to do that, surprisingly, I didn't put that link in the description because the copy and paste is weird. So I do have it.
Blaming it on the tech. I would blame it on the user of the tech, but okay.
But you can go visit my Twitter. Also, my other videos, the thank you video has it. My morning stream has it on there. So you guys can go and visit. And, you know, if you want
my link in the description?
One day when I'm
Jesus Christ, you ain't got a single link in the description. He's like, I'm gonna put some hashtags. We're good. We're good.
But you know what? I appreciate everybody here. My amazing co-host, PB. You got anything to plug for us? Anything new, or do they got you working out there in the wilds?
Oh man, I'm definitely. I gotta make something here. I checked my freaking statistics or analytics, whatever. Call it whatever the fuck you want. It don't make a difference. And I was like, shit. It's been what?
Bitchy just plugged it.
There you go. Perfect. Anyway, I was checking that and I was like, shit, I haven't put a video out in this fucking long. I can talk about nothing for some amount of time or something for no amount of time. Either one will work. So definitely there's going to be something coming out on Prophets of Geek Culture, maybe to do with our Lord and Savior, Zack Snyder.
Ooh, I love those videos. Those rants are epic. Like, oh man, and the hate is even more epic.
I believe I have something coming out on my channel of some Stargate actors that got cast in a new television show.
Ooh.
But that video is going to take a little longer to put together because it's going to have a slightly higher production value. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, buddy, keep an eye on his channel. What? Bitchy, he was just in the corner and she goes, "Oh boy, slightly."
Well, man, I'm not here to shoot for the stars until I can reach them.
And if you guys don't know, me and Bitchy did a review for High School Musical, the musical, which by the way, we watched a holiday special, which
Jesus.
No, I don't want to remember the gay title. I'm still trying to wash my brain from that waste of Disney space. But
Whoa. How in the hell, like, wash your brain? You need to have one first.
and we might do a review together on Promising Young Woman because we both like the movie so much. It's like, yeah, let's review it. This will be a not bitching episode, so we got to think of a different name because it was actually a good movie. So she claims we'll be bitching on everyone else. I don't know. It's a working title.
Excellent.
So, anyways,
sounds wonderful, General. It's not very often that you get a video put out on your channel that people actually want to listen to.
I know, right? I'm really moving up in the world.
That's a joke for everybody in the chat. Like, people obviously go to his channel and don't listen to his videos. That's another joke, people.
So, anyways, you guys all have been a wonderful crowd. Remember the only rule here in the fandom zone: kneel before General Zod and pay the amazing Patty Jenkins your money.
Merry Christmas!